Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. College football has arrived. Now, it may not be the premier games across the country. They call it Week 0 for a reason, but the bottom line is football is here. Whether you're watching Nebraska and Northwestern, you want to see Florida State a little bit later this evening, or if you want to stay up late till 10:30 Eastern Time and watch the worst team in the SEC, Vanderbilt, go out west to Hawaii, it's football time. Football is here. But you know what's more important is Tennessee football. We're just 5 days away from Tennessee taking on Ball State. Currently favored by 33.5 points. But the bottom line is it is go time. Football season is here. We're going to talk about Rece Davis and Kirk Herbstreit from College Game Day. They are high on Tennessee. We're going to talk about it. As always, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy, it helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts, we're not insiders. We are fans just like you. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be a busy week. Going to continue to drop videos as much as possible. Going to be live tomorrow night, Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, playing NCAA football and also talking Tennessee Vol football. And then also Monday morning, the morning show. You guys asked for it, so we're going to bring it to you Monday morning, 9 a.m. We're going to be diving in to this Ball State football team. Also got some fun stuff from Greg McElroy that I want to talk about. It's going to be a fun show. Tune in Monday morning, 9 a.m. But let's jump into this article. This is from Saturday Down South. Rece Davis, Kirk Herbstreit agree on SEC's third best team for 2022. Now, Tennessee is getting a lot of hype, a lot of buzz. I've not had an opportunity to sit down and watch College Game Day yet. Interested if they talked about the Vols, but you can see here again, Saturday Down South. It says here, Rece Davis and Kirk Herbstreit joined in on the most popular offseason topic across the SEC. After Alabama and Georgia, what is the third best team in the entire SEC? Now, we've been having the conversations going back and forth for months. We've been talking about, is Tennessee the second best team in the East behind Georgia? Some people think Kentucky. Some people throwing South Carolina way up there. We'll see how it plays out. But Rece Davis, Kirk Herbstreit, here's what they had to say about the entire SEC, because we all know it's Alabama, it's Georgia, they're up there at the top, and everybody else is fighting for third. Kirk Herbstreit says, I think A&M is the obvious selection, but I think Tennessee could be potentially with Hendon Hooker, and Davis agreed. He said, I think Tennessee right now also, but they're going to have to stop somebody. Davis said, which they didn't do at all last year, but if they just stop teams occasionally, they're going to be really difficult to beat, so I'll lean Tennessee right now. Now, that's a huge thing that we're going to talk about on Monday. We all know Tennessee has to be better on third down, and that's what we're going to look at with Greg McElroy. He kind of talked about three things for an upcoming Tennessee team, a team that he thinks is going to be better than people expect. Three things that the Vols have to do to get better in 2022. And spoiler alert, one of those things is getting off the field on third down. We all know it. We've talked about it to death for that's what we do all summer long. We talk about what Tennessee has to do better in 2022. Now, the interesting thing about last year's numbers is the fact that Tennessee, so high in tackles for loss, at one point leading the entire country in TFLs. This defensive line, Rodney Garner talks about wanting to play vertically, play 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and I think that's something that this football team had success at in 2021, and that's what makes the third downs more frustrating, is seeing quarterbacks scramble around, giving up the third and longs, the third and Chavis, as some of us old-timers might call it. Tennessee has to be better on third down, is what they added in the transfer portal, going out and adding a guy like Juwan Mitchell, who they went and added in the secondary. Turrentine from Ohio State, Wesley Walker at Georgia Tech. Even to go so far as adding Kamal Haddon last year. That's a guy that's got a year in the system. What's he going to look like? What's Brandon Turnage going to look like? Again, added last year, a year in the system. Did Willie Martinez develop those guys? I think we've got a whole lot more talent on the back end. Not necessarily talent. I don't know that you have those NFL-level guys like Alontae Taylor or Theo Jackson. But again, do you develop talent and do you bring those guys along? You've got more depth in the secondary. And I don't know that Tennessee necessarily has to be elite in 2022. I've talked about loving the quote from Josh Heupel. We're not just going to be efficient at defense. We're going to be elite. We're going to get back to championship caliber defense. I like that. But in 2022, to take that next step, I think they just have to be efficient. But we all know it starts on third down. The article goes on to say in the coaches poll, the Vols received the third most votes among teams not in the top 25, behind only Iowa and Penn State. In the AP Top 25, Tennessee was the first team outside the Top 25. The Vols opened Josh Heupel's second season against Ball State on September 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the SEC Network at Neyland Stadium. Tennessee went 7-6 in Heupel's first season in 2021, and they return 15 starters from last season. Guys, again, say it again. They return 15 starters from a year ago. Now, let's think about that. A team that a lot of people were predicting to go win 3-4 ball games. Josh Heupel did more with less, won 7 games. Obviously didn't end the way you wanted it to end in the Music City Bowl. That left a sour taste in our mouths and in this coaching staff, these football players. I hope that motivated them. I hope that gave them some drive during the offseason. I hope they remembered that bowl game when they were going through fall camp. But now you return 15 starters. We keep talking about this coaching staff and how they develop players, how they're actually teachers of the game. And if that's the case, if that's the truth, you've got more depth. You return 15 starters. You would hope that this football team would take a next step. It says here in the preseason all-SEC coaches team, Tennessee had 2 players make the team, wide receiver Cedric Tillman and defensive linebacker Byron Young. Tillman was the most returning production at wide receiver in the SEC, as he had 1,081 yards, 64 catches, and 12 touchdowns. Young had 5.5 sacks, 11.5 tackles for loss. He posted a tackle for loss in 8 of the team's last 9 games. So the interesting article, again, Rece Davis, Kirk Herbstreit showing some love for this Tennessee team, saying they could be the 3rd best team in the SEC. What say you? Hit that comment section and let me know. Interesting conversation on Josh and Swain on Friday on the Sports Animal. They were talking about hypotheticals. And sometimes you guys throw hypothetical questions at me. I don't always know how to answer them because it's like, what does it really matter? How do you really put a spin on it? But very interesting. What would you rather have? Would you rather have a Tennessee football team that goes 10-2 and beats Alabama but loses to Georgia and another team, and Georgia gets to the SEC championship game? Or would you rather go 9-3, maybe you beat Georgia and you back your way in to a trip to Atlanta? 9-3, you go to Atlanta. 10-2, you don't go to Atlanta, but there's no guarantees of an SEC championship. Very interesting question. Swain and Josh were kind of split on that. I'm going with Josh Ward. I'm taking the 10-2 in a big-time bowl game because there is no guarantee in that SEC championship. I think if Tennessee found a way to go 10-2, regardless of who they beat or who they lost to, and if they did not go to Atlanta, but bottom line is they go 10-2, I think what you're going to be able to do in recruiting for this upcoming class and then carry that momentum into the class of 24 would be absolutely huge. And I know Atlanta's the goal, and that was the selling point from Swain. Atlanta's the goal. He talked about they get rings for SEC championships. That's this football team's goal. But to me, I'm looking long-term. I think you benefit more from 10 wins than you do 9 wins and a trip to Atlanta. I thought that was an interesting little hypothetical question, so I wanted to pose that to you guys as well. Do you want 10-2 in a big-time bowl game or 9-3 back your way into a trip to Atlanta? Let me know. Interesting little question on Josh and Swain over at the Sports Animal on Friday. But again, final thoughts on Rece Davis, Kirk Herbstreit think that Tennessee has a shot to be the 3rd best team in the SEC. Guys, just remember a little over a year ago when Josh Heupel took over. Rock bottom. People saying Tennessee's going to win 3 to 4 games, that they are done. 5 to 6 year rebuild. Here we are, a year and a half later, and some of the talking heads, some of the national media is saying that Tennessee is the 3rd best team in the SEC. But as always, hit that comment section. Let me know your thoughts. If you have not done so yet, please destroy and smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. It helps the channel. Go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin' VAWLS Network. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin' VAWLS. Any and all support greatly appreciated. As always, thank you to the members of the channel financially supporting what we are trying to do. Those of you that like the Monday morning stream, the more members we get, almost 14,000 subscribers, the more of you hit that join button and become a member, the more chances that I can quit my day job, do this full time, and bring you guys more streams in the morning and more streams in the evening. I want to bring you as much content as possible. But thank you to everybody that has joined the channel. If you've got an Apple product, there's a link in the description as well. You can join that way. But hope to see you guys tomorrow night, again, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, playing NCAA 2013 and talking Vol football. Monday morning, 9 a.m., and then Wednesday, 7 p.m., It's a busy, busy week. Post-game show coming your way next Thursday, immediately following Tennessee and Ball State. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.